Okay, here we go. And some of these ideas are ones that I came up with, and others are ones that other agents have told me. And I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. That's so simple. The secret is there is no secret. I think that, at the end of the day, we're just the more contacts that you talk to, the more value that you bring, the more people that you're connected with in your database, obviously, the more sales you're going to have. And so someone the other day said that they were a people collector. And I thought that was a really interesting concept. So that's kind of our goal is how can we, when anyone thinks of real estate, they think of Elijah, they think of Abby, they think of Jamie. So we're going to get started. Feel free to chime in, jump in. I'm super laid back and flexible, so we can make this as engaging as possible. See if I can screen share. And okay, can y'all see my presentation?
Yes.
Yay. Okay, awesome. So I made this morning, funny enough, and I really struggled with finding top 10 because I feel like there's 50 ways to lead generate. And the whole idea is, again, just getting the people. I put all these different people in the background because at the end of the day, we are in the people business. I think when I first started real estate, I just thought, oh, I like houses and I love negotiating and I like to do tours and I love to shop online. Like it's going to be a perfect fit. And I didn't realize that at the end of the day, we're lead generators. You could be the best realtor in your market. And if nobody knows who you are, it doesn't matter. So here is a little cheat sheet of the cookie cutter things that everyone, finds out about of how to lead generate. When I first got into real estate, my mentor was like, oh, make more calls to make more money. You have to have 40 contacts a day. And I was just cold calling everyone and I hated it. It just was totally against my natural personality style. And some people are like, my husband loves cold calling and talking to expires and FSBOs. And so you kind of learn your personality style and what you like to do. Here's the cookie cutter lead generation methods, their costs, the pros and the cons. All of the ones that we'll go over today will be free, which is really fun. Okay.
See your sheet, Amanda.
Huh?
Well, I only see your top 10 lead gen ideas, not your list.
Okay, let me see. The good news is you don't have to be tech savvy to be good at real estate. Can you see it now?
There you go.
Yay. Okay,
Yeah.
when I change the slide, let me know if it works or not. Did it change?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
It's
Okay.
working.
So we're going to start with the most obvious one. Number 10 is your sphere of influence and database. It's amazing how many people I talk to, especially newer agents, and they're like, oh, I have $5,000 to spend or $2,000. I want to buy internet leads. And I'm like, well, have you talked to your sphere? Have you talked to your database? Does your aunt know that you have a goal of selling 10 houses your first year? And I think because we know them and they're close to home, we're nervous or we're afraid they're going to judge us. Or for some reason, there's this apprehension of, I can't ask them for the business. They know me too well. And really, it's the opposite. You want the people who already know, love, and trust you to be sending you that business, and they're going to buy or sell or rent or invest or do something in real estate, or they're going to have friends that do it. They might as well use you. So I kind of have this mindset before. I was like, oh, I'm bothering them. I don't want to spam them. I don't want them to think I'm just always asking for a sell. And now I had my first year, I had a close friend buy a new construction house and not put my name down. And she said, I didn't even know that you could help me with that. And so it was my fault that she didn't get a great deal and she didn't have someone next to her because I was too nervous about bothering her to bring her that value. So kind of have that mindset. They're going to get the property regardless. Okay. Jamie, did it switch slides? Yay. Okay. So building your sphere of influence, the whole idea is retention and duplication. So once you start to, let's say you start off, when I started in Houston, I knew like, I don't know, 2 people. And then eventually I started adding people to it. You want to make a list of the people that you already know, love, and trust. So if they said, hey, who's that Teddy guy? Oh, Teddy's great. He's amazing. Oh, I remember that guy from high school, or I remember him from Facebook, or I remember his Nutella posts, like something to where they're a positive, something comes from that. Make a list of everyone that you know that if you were to pick up the phone and call them, they go, oh yeah, I remember that person. That's going to be your initial database. My goal is to go deeper rather than wider. I know everybody has a different business model, but mine is I would rather have 5 amazing raving fans that send me 5 referral partners who say, hey, you know, you've got to use this person because she's amazing at real estate, rather than the typical make 1,000 phone calls, 100 of them are going to be interested, 25 to 50 of them are actually going to buy with you. Everybody has a different business model. So kind of think, do I want a quantity where I can have a ton of leads coming in and I'm really focused on a numbers game, or would I rather have quality to where it's really easy to convert them? They already have a background. They already know that they like me. I'd rather go deeper rather than wider. So for me, I also work with corporations. Like I'd rather have one guy or an investor who's going to buy 10 houses with me rather than talk to 10 different people and figure out what they're interested in. Okay,
Hey,
once
Amanda,
uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Workman is my coach, and he's given us his blessing to share this spreadsheet of building your sphere and tracking them, who's giving your referrals and who's not. If you want, I can send it to you and you can share it with everybody.
That would be perfect. Do you have a link you could put in the chat box?
Mhm.
Yay. Okay. So we're all about collaboration here. I love that everybody has a different background and they have different connections and we all just share secrets. And that's kind of how we've gotten where we are. The fortunes and the follow-up. So once you have your list of people, again, we started with this one because it's the fundamental basics. You should know it. But love on them, follow up with them, remind them that you're in real estate. People are busy. They don't care about you or your business. You have to kind of be squeaky and be in front of them and be like, hey, how's it going? How can I bring value? Don't forget I'm in real estate. Ideally, you're adding 5 people per day to your database. This is your full-time business. This is your career. This is what you're building. You will live forever on this business. If you can't commit to that, try 5 people per week, you know, 1 a day kind of thing. And then ask your new contacts for their contacts. And so that's kind of been the shift that I've experienced. Is before I'd go, okay, I know 5 people or I know 10 people. How do you get referrals from those people? So we'll go over that next. All of this is just being friendly, bringing value, connecting to them. So how to get their database. Once you have your list of people, how do you tap into other people's database? Hui said something really interesting last year where he said, we're in the recruiting world. We're always trying to bring agents into our group and kind of train them up. And he said, I've spoken to every realtor that I know. I need to help the people in my group do the same because I've tapped into my database already. I need to tap into theirs. You need to have the same mindset when it comes to production. So I always say anytime something hits the fan, I feel like in a deal, they're like, oh, thank you so much, or thanks for being patient, or thanks for negotiating that credit. I always kind of preset the terms of saying, no worries, my goal is to make you a raving fan. And at the end of this, I want you to be such a raving fan that you want to send me referrals, because that's really how my business grows, is I get 3 referrals per closing. And so that's kind of my goal. And before they wouldn't think about sending me referrals, but now I'm like, oh, I'm doing you a favor, I'm doing my job to create a raving fan, so you will send me referrals. So you kind of make that plug. And then just be bold, ask them, hey, who do you know that I need to know? Like, you've been so awesome to work with. You've just been amazing. I love that you work at this company. I love your mindset. I love how analytical you are, or how much your passion is about neighborhoods, whatever, fill in the blank. Do you have anyone that's kind of like-minded like you? Because I love working with this type of person. And then just ask for that connection. At closing, offer to write just moved cards. Women love that. I don't know why. We love the cute little card that says, hey, we moved. Here's our new address. Save it with a picture of our family. Offer to do that for them. It might cost you, or you can team up with a lender or title company or whoever. They'll pay for it and co-brand with you. But then less than $100. Offer that, and what you get, not only is it, oh my gosh, they're a raving fan of you now, but you get their entire database, all of those people's home addresses, their contact information. You can put a little business card in there, any kind of marketing you can imagine. And that's a great way to get referrals as well. So add all of those people to your database and start dripping on them. Has anyone ever done a preview party before? This was pretty cool during COVID. Now we don't need it as much, but before, you couldn't even put a sign in the yard before the house was sold, right? And so you really missed out on, as a listing agent, all of those buyer leads. And so now what we're doing is preview parties where we say, hey, we're going to market your house. We're going to do a pre-open house. It's a preview party, kind of like a going away party, just for your friends and neighbors. So send me everyone who's interested and I'll invite them. And you can do a Facebook group event, an Eventbrite, but make it private, or just track everyone. But what you'll find is all of those neighbors and friends love that person, right? being invited into their home. We're nosy. We want to see the house. We want to see if it's overpriced. We want to give, oh, you need to take this picture down and move this couch around. But it's a way for you to be in front of 40 or 50 potential buyers or sellers before you even sell the house, which is really helpful. It's a great way to tap into their database. Add them to social media. Any past client that I have, I add to social media because sadly I forget to follow up with people, and it's really easy to post something on social media and they can see my kids, they can see my business. It's really relatable. If you're brand new and you have no database and you know no one, you have no idea what you're doing, and you're young and energetic and you're like, I just need the business, team up with one of us old, overworked people who have a ton of business and say, hey, can we co-brand? You've got it going on and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I need people to practice on. Can we co-brand and I'll market with you? And you can send me your database of people, maybe that realtor's wanting to be retired and they've got an amazing database of people who trust their brand. Do that and co-brand with them and say, hey, I work with X, Y, and Z. We're a team. They told me that, you bought your house 5 years ago, and piggyback off of their experience and their branding until you can build your own. You might have to pay them a referral fee for that, obviously, but it's a quick way to have recognition and look like you've got it going on. Neighborhood parties, again, just get involved in the community. Holiday parties, anytime you have a client appreciation party, ask them to bring a guest or a neighbor and you're adding to your database. Share your vision and thank them in advance. So for everyone that I work with, I'll say, oh my gosh, my team has this crazy goal of selling however many hundreds of homes. Or for you, it might just be, I have a goal of selling 10 houses this year, or 20 houses this year. And you're like 10% of that. I'm just so excited to get to work with you. It's such a big deal. So if you know 2 or 3 more people, that would be like almost half of my goal, right? People don't love salespeople, but we love helping someone else win. We love helping them hit their goals. And then more times we vocalized, this is my passion. This is my experience. This is what I'm trying to do. Thank you in advance for helping me hit it. You'll be surprised how many of their database they'll send you. Any questions on this? I know it's a lot. Awesome.
No, this is so good. I love it. I love it because I was just dealing with a client. She's not my client. She actually was like listing her house with another realtor, and yeah, this is like so great. The house didn't sell. They terminate the contract. So I'm about to reach out to her to see if she wants to put the house back on the market with me. And this is great. Thank you, Amanda.
Perfect. It's all about being in the right room and connecting with the right people. Get social. So this is something that we just can't get away from. Like at first I was like, oh, I don't want to learn Instagram. I already figured out Facebook. Oh, now there's TikTok and now there's this and that. It's here to stay and it's a huge way to lead generate. But getting social could also be boots on the ground, being involved in the community, making friends, meeting other people. So how do you connect with people that you would have never met otherwise? People that aren't from your database, they're not from your database's sphere of influence. How do you find them? So a big one for me when I first joined was when I first moved to Houston is I joined a kickball league. I'm not super athletic, but kickball is easy. But join a social club. It can be mahjong or pickleball or bingo or whatever. It doesn't matter. Ladies who lunch. Or join a sports club and you'll be amazed how much bonding you get and how many of those people are actually looking to buy or sell. Again, your goal is to partially low key market. Hey, I happen to be in real estate, or find some ways to bring value to them. A business book club. This has been new for me and it's been a lot of fun because I'm just inviting other business owners or team owners or brokers. And it's been just like-minded people in the same room. If any kind of community event, so junior league or getting involved or volunteering or anything that you're passionate about, getting involved with business owners because those people, not only do they probably make decent money, but they also know a lot of other business owners. They're also usually hiring and moving people around the United States. So that's a great way to get business. LinkedIn, it's like Facebook for business. It's not going away. You'll get a lot of spam from there, but a lot of those are people looking to connect. My first 2 multi-million-dollar listings came from LinkedIn, or a builder messaged me and said, hey, I see you're in real estate. I have this new spec house I'm building. Please bring me a buyer. And I said, let's have coffee. I didn't want to bring him a buyer. I wanted his listing. And I knew within if I had a phone call with him, I wouldn't be able to lock him down, but within a coffee date or a lunch appointment, we would be able to do that. So don't underestimate LinkedIn. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anything that you're posting, be really intentful for why. You've already spent the time to make that content, to make the picture, to do all of the things. Make sure you're hashtagging it to have a bigger audience. Make sure that that hashtag has some kind of lead capture. It can be a text code, text, Houston to this number, text new home buyer, text bad credit to this number, and then make sure any of that lead capture forwards them to a drip campaign. If you're with EXP, you have KV Core, which is incredible. It's kind of all like automatic. If you don't, then find a CRM that you feel comfortable with and make sure anytime that they hashtag or text or click a link, it has a capture and it has a drip campaign. All right. Create opportunities that are hard to say no to. So this I learned at some kind of speaking event where they were talking about how, yes, it's hard to find buyers and sellers and getting people off the fence or getting them motivated. But if you created a really cool opportunity, you don't have to find those people. Those people will find you because you're having this one, amazing opportunity that they didn't find from another realtor. So there could be a lot of different things. One is collaboration. Like I said, I'm having business owners meet and connect and get together, social clubs, any kind of way where you can get all the people who are together, organized, and have that collaborative feel rather than a competitive feel. I think naturally in this environment, we have this scarcity mindset where we want to have competition, and it's so much better to work together. Be a connector and advertise that to people. Hey, I'm in real estate. I'm a connector. I love to be a resource for other people. What are you looking for? What do you need? How can I connect you to the right people? And kind of have that reciprocity to where they're like, oh, if you refer me business, I would love to refer you business. And just naturally try to create those opportunities. Investment opportunities, there's so many of those, and loan opportunities. So let's say you're talking to someone and they're like, hey, I have 20, 30, 40% equity in my house. I bought it before COVID. I have like $200,000 in equity. I just don't know what to do with it. Rather than talking them into selling their house that they have at a 2 or 3% interest rate and buying something at a 7% interest rate, talk to them about pulling that equity out and buying their first or second or third investment property. Hey, if you have $200,000 cash, you could buy 4 investment properties and putting 25% down. Let me show you how to do that. Or, hey, there's some really cool loans out there right now that will let you leverage your equity or leverage all your stocks and your IRA and your retirement. Don't cash that out and sell it right now. Let me show you how you can buy some real estate with that and keep it safe. So find out all the programs and really cool opportunities that most realtors aren't talking about and talk to them about that. Same thing with financial advising. I like to work with the higher end clients, and I'll ask them, are you putting your house in a trust? Well, if you don't, have you thought about you're gonna have to probate a will and pay inheritance tax and do all these other things? Let me connect you to my guy. And so little things like that are like, oh, I didn't think about that. Thank you for being proactive and giving me the resources before. Okay, be unconventional. Does anyone market themselves as an off-market specialist? Or would you like to? It's really much easier than you think. So we always have, like, let's say we have a niche buyer who's like, I have to live in Memorial or West Shore. I need to be zoned to this great school district. And my budget is, of course, entry level into that market. So let's say it's West Shore and they can only spend $1 million, or Memorial, they can only spend $2 million, or whatever. It could be investments or anything. Instead of waiting for that house to hit the market, say, hey, I have a lot of off-market opportunities. What's your buy box? What are you interested in? What would you like to buy? I specialize in off-market, and I would love to add you to my database. They're never going to say no to that. There's no commitment. You're not saying I have to be your realtor, but you're bringing them something that no other realtor is doing. So I challenge you all to create your own off-market list. And this is how it works. It can be a spreadsheet, a PDF, or whatever. But again, we're people collecting. We're data is the best part of income for us. So you want to have a hot sheet. Your hot sheet is your off-market list, and you can offer to share it with your favorite clients. You don't share it publicly with everybody, and you can add people to it. A hot sheet is people who are willing to sell for the right purchase price. So if I got a phone call right now and they were like, hey, do you want to sell your house? I'd be like, no, I'm not interested. And if they were like, hey, if I offered you X amount of money, would you sell your house? For the right price, would you sell your house? Almost all of you on this Zoom, if I was like, hey, if I gave you whatever, a lot of money for your house, would you sell it? Most of you would be hesitant, but you would say absolutely, because for the right price, it makes sense. You're not going on the market. You're not dealing with showings. You're not dealing with repairs. Someone wants your house so bad that they reach out to you and they're offering you money for it. So go to areas that have, desirable areas with great schools. where there's a lot of demand, where typically the average days on market is 10 days or less. And those are going to be the people that you talk to. And you say, hey, you know, I would love to put you on my list for off-market homes. I have a hot sheet of everybody who wants to buy or sell. I have their buy box. I have their criteria. I have what asking price they have. So you put 123 Main Street, John Smith, his phone number, $450,000, and just save that in your pocket. So whenever someone's looking inside the loop or in the city or whatever, you go, oh, I've got like 5 or 6 people who are looking to sell there. They don't want to go on MLS, but they are willing to sell. And that again is adding to your database. Be known for the list and just don't share it with everybody. Your clients will also submit their buy box. So if they're like, oh yeah, I'm kind of looking right now, you know, the kids are in school. I have a couple of friends who are realtors, but you know, I'm just kind of shopping right now, and they're just very laissez-faire about everything. Say, that's okay. I work with a lot of things off market. I'm, you know, a member of the moms group. I have all these things that are up and coming that just never hit MLS. A lot of homes in this area don't hit MLS. Tell me what you're looking for and I'll add you to my hot sheet. They're not going to say no to that, right? And you'll start to, again, start picking up all these clients. And as you start to send them potential houses, even if some of them are on MLS, they're not going to be offended. Like, oh my gosh, that girl keeps sending me houses. She got this amazing one on a double lot that just hit the market. And you're bringing them value. You're going to end up having more clients. Again, add them all to your database and follow up. How do y'all feel about creating an off-market list? Not too hard? Not too scary? Okay, so here's a cookie cutter easy one, and I can email you all of the links and the fees associated with this. That we have over 15 referral only programs. Here, if you want to screenshot it, here's like my favorite 12, but all of them will send you a lead. Most of them are pre-approved. Some are better than others. Some of them will send you way too many leads. I have one that sent me like 12 in 1 week. It was overwhelming. But all of them, you'll pay them a referral fee at closing. So no upfront capital risk. You do the deal, you pay them at closing, and then usually repeat business or referrals from them, you don't have to pay that referral fee again, which is really nice. So take a screenshot of that. And you can also email me or message me, and I'll send you the email of all of the ones that we have. Veterans United has a really high conversion rate. That's a really good one to get into. Some people are closing like 3 or 4 deals a month just from Veterans United. Okay. Anyone in the hedge fund or REO division? No. So going back to, I want to work with smarter rather than harder. I want to work with someone who needs to sell 100 houses rather than someone who wants to sell 1. This is kind of this year that the REO division and hedge funds are going to be really busy. So how do you get in with them? How do you secure a fund? How do you work the system? There's lots of different ways. You can tell I added extra sticky notes to this one. For us, we go where they're going to be. So if there's a Pitbull conference, it's like a big investors meeting, or a private equity fund, or anything where a lot of people with a lot of money who like to focus on real estate are going to be, typically realtors are not there, right? Realtors sit at home, they wait on the MLS, they hope someone calls them. They're not out mingling with the higher level money people. So go where they're going to be, socialize where they're going to be, learn their language. They have a totally different language than we do as far as investments and cap rates and buy boxes and different things. There's certificates and classes for REO. This is a really good year for you to learn those because a lot of people are defaulting on their mortgages. Create an REO resume. Again, if you don't have an amazing resume, if you haven't closed a lot of deals, if you don't have a lot of background or experience in the investor world or institutional world, find someone who does and say, hey, can I add your stuff to my resume? Can we co-brand together? I'll pay you a referral fee on the first few if you walk me through this process. Your goal will be to add 1 bank and 1 referral company each week to your database. Not too overwhelming, but after 4 weeks, you'll have 8 potential contacts. Here's a homework project for y'all today. ResNet, Equator, RioMac, and Altisource are the 4 biggest websites that hedge funds and institutional funds use to find realtors. Their goal is to have 1, 2, 3 realtors across all of Texas, 1 realtor for Virginia, maybe 2 or 3 for California. They don't want to work with 1,000 different realtors and give them each one house, right? They'd rather have 1 realtor that has 50 of their listings. And you can create a profile on all 4 of those. It's totally free. Make sure you keep it updated, add any kind of experience that you have on there. And when they go to look for doing dispositions in your area, you're going to pop up and you'll get leads from that. It's totally free. BPO system. So ideally, if y'all don't know what a BPO system is, it's just a broker's opinion of price. It's almost like an appraisal from us. And there's ones that you can do that are paid, where you can team up with a bank and say, hey, I'll do your BPOs for you. And they might pay you $75 or $100. Or there's some where you're not paid at all, but you have the first right of refusal for that listing. So I know with Revenos in the last 30, 60 days, Jeff and I have done over 100 BPOs. I'm tired of them. But the good thing is, if those sellers decide to sell, we have the first right of refusal of those listings. So we tell them what their house is worth. We snap pictures of their property. We tell them, you know, what we would list it for, what they need to do. Oh, there's a squatter in here. There's landscaping issues. This roof is leaking. We are their eyes and ears, and we help them sell their inventory. So you'll have to have a system for high volume of who's going to walk the houses, who's going to take the pictures, who's going to make sure the utilities are on. You can't do all of them. So start to kind of build out your team around that. Does anyone work in like the auction? Have you seen those emails where like, oh, this house is up for auction for the real estate? So you can offer that as well. You can say, hey, we're going to put this on an auction platform. You can also use MLS to do that. A lot of investors are doing that now, to where, let's say a house is worth $200,000. They'll say, hey, all the houses in this subdivision are selling for $200,000. You know, that includes, let's say, 5 or 6% commission fee. That's going to be $12,000. And then whatever fees you have for closing cost. I'm going to market your house at 180 instead. So you're well below market value. And I'm not going to charge you anything for your listing. What we're going to do is we're going to charge a 5 or 6% buyer's premium fee for that listing. I'm not going to allow any showings at all for the first week. And then after the week, I'm going to only have showings Friday, Saturday, Sunday for one weekend. And what happens is you have this house that hits the market that's $20,000 or $20,000 off of value. It's showing well. It's really cute. There's this huge demand for it. When you go to the open house, there's a line out the door. Have you seen those on social media? You'll have one huge open house. You'll knock out all those people, get their buy boxes, get the lead generation, get the list of all the people, and they start to have a bidding war. And the seller gets all this attention. Typically, it sells for more than market value. So maybe it's 205, 210, and the buyer pays the commission. So a lot of sellers would be open to that, just because they don't have to have a lot of showings and they're not paying a lot of fees. So that's something to think about. Not traditional, but it works. Look out for notice of default. So a lot of people who have defaulted on their mortgage, they have a lot of equity, and it's really sad because they panic and they get paralyzed and they don't know what to do, and they don't reach out for help, and then they get foreclosed on or short sales. What we found is over 70% of the homes that are being defaulted on mortgages right now have quite a bit of equity, at least 10% equity, where they're going to go on the market. Instead of going on the market, they're sold at the auction before the bank can pick them up and take them back. But if you get to them before the auction, put them on MLS, that person saves their credit, gets some of their equity back, have some money in their pocket, and doesn't have to go through the foreclosure process. So reach out to them. And then lastly, does anyone ever, oh, I totally butchered this, the HUDhomestore.gov. Does anyone shop on there? So this is a really cool program where the government is involved, obviously HUD, and they've got all these houses that they now have. They're not in the householding business. They don't want to deal with that, but all these people didn't pay their mortgage, and now they have this house. If you are a hero, which it could be, it's like a teacher, a doctor, a firefighter, a police officer. If you go on there, you can learn more about the programs. If you're a hero and you buy in an up and coming area, the crime rate's a little higher, the schools aren't amazing, it's an up and coming area, you can qualify for 50% off what the house is worth. So if it's $200,000 house, you get the house for $100,000. The only catch is you have to live there for 3 years. Not a bad deal. Imagine getting 50% off of a retail house for your client. That's a hell of a story, right? That's some social media posts, and they're going to refer all of their other people. Now, let's say that firefighter is like, you know what? I really don't want to live in this area. It's not worth it to me. Thanks, but no thanks. That's okay. I've sent you an opportunity that nobody else has, and I've already got you pre-approved. Let's go pay a little bit more per month, and let's go to this other area. But keep this program in mind for your colleagues. So check that out. Read the contingencies, see who qualifies, and create a marketing plan around that. Okay, number 3, create programs. So I have Canva templates for all of these. So if you guys are passionate about any of them, just reach out to me and I can send you the marketing material. You can add your face and your name and look like you've got it going on. But anytime there's an objection that, oh, why can't you buy a house? I'm excited because I have a program for that. Oh, we've got a bad program, a bad credit program. So if they're like, oh, I had a foreclosure, or, I missed a couple payments, or my wife got sick and she's got all these medical bills. Everybody has a story of why they can't get pre-approved, right? Instead of being like, oh, you really blew it, or oh my gosh, call me in 2 years. That's okay. I have a bad program, bad credit program. Let me team you with one of our lenders who can kind of walk you through what that process looks like. They don't even charge you to fix your credit, and then we can go house shopping. Does that sound great? So always turn that objection into something fun and exciting. We have a program for first-time home buyers, for relocation. You don't have to wait for your company to give you a relocation lead and ask for 35 to 40% of your commission. You can create your own relocation program and offer whatever you want and market that. We have a move up program. So if you're going from a $200,000 house to a $400,000 house, let me tell you about that because it's going to relate to someone. A lease buyout program. Hey, you're in your lease and there's 4 months left. Let me tell you about our lease buyout program. A lot of people don't know. Like, let's say it's February right now and their lease isn't up until June. Most people will go, oh, I'm not ready yet. I have like 4 more months left on my lease. It just doesn't make sense for us to shop right now. What's February? Let's say I find you a house at the end of February and we close on it April 1st, right? So right around 30 days later. Your mortgage isn't due until June 1st. So there's no double dipping there at all. But let's say it wasn't due till July. They only have 1 month where they're having to pay rent and a mortgage. That's okay. We have a program for that. You can have a program for anything. Let's say your rent is $1,500 a month. I will help you get $1,500 credit towards closing costs from the seller to help cover that. And then you have a whole month to take your time moving from your lease to your house that you've had for a month now. You can fix up the house, you can move, you can take your time. You don't have to move twice. All of the benefits, and you're not out any money. Would you be interested? Yes. If you can't get it from the seller, then maybe you have to get a credit from the lender, or maybe you have to give a credit. But either way, you don't have to wait 4 months for your client to start shopping. You can get into a house. Downsizing program. Hey, are your kids grown? You have a 5,000 square foot house and you want to lock and leave? Let's talk about that. First time investor program. Hey, I can teach you about cap rates and calculate, and I can pre-screen your deal rather than just selling you any house. I can tell you if it's a good investment or not. Homes for Heroes program. You can create your own of, again, doctors or nurses or teachers or fire. You get to pick the definition of a hero, right? It could be anyone. And you can say you're going to get $500 credit towards closing costs, or we'll give you a reimbursement for your appraisal. Talk to your title team, talk to your lender team and see what you can offer and start your own program. Referral program. So you might say, hey, for any of my past clients, if you refer me a friend or a family member and they buy with me, they're going to get a $500 credit, or they're going to get a waiver of whatever kind of marketing you want to do. And then they're excited to go, hey, I've got this friend who's a realtor and she's offering this just because I know you and your referral. She's a program to where if you're leasing and you go to buy, you get X, Y, and Z, or then you can qualify for the lease buyout program. People love programs. Feels like you're marketing specifically to them. Okay, videos. This is something that I hate doing. It's not going away and it has an amazing return on investment. Most people are okay doing videos. They just don't know what to talk about and what's relevant. So I made a list of my top topics, I guess, to talk about for video content. Anytime you make one video, you can cut that into a YouTube short. You can use it again on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Again, anything that you're using and you're posting, you need the hashtag, you need the lead capture, you need the drip campaign. Make it worth your while. So why do you move to Houston? Why do you move to Dallas? Why do you move to wherever? What's the hottest subdivision right now? Why is it so hot? Does it have a lazy river? Does it have something really cool? Show me a video about that. Here's a tour of a luxury home. Look at this amazing 2-story closet, or this awesome bathtub that's inside a shower, or something that's just going to stand out, right? Oh, I put that twice. Sorry. Top investment opportunities and why. Hey, here's my top 5 investment picks for this week. This is the cap rates. This would be an amazing flip. This is why I think this is the top 10 investments for the week. Virtual open houses, industry insights. A lot of people are still asking, is it a good time to buy? Is inventory at? Why are houses not selling so fast? What's going on with the interest rates? How is the election year going to affect that? A lot of people don't know what to ask, but they're very curious about the market. We had an agent who did a 30-day challenge where she said, hey, friends, I want to make a video every single day for the next 30 days. I need to know what's important to you. Please send me your questions, anything real estate related. And each day I'll pick one of those questions and I'll talk about it. And each day she would tag whatever friend's question. Hey, Sarah asked this question. And for just 2 or 3. Sorry. Jerry thought I was talking to her. She would talk about it for 2 or 3 minutes. And then she'd go, okay, keep sending in your questions and I'll pick a new one tomorrow. And she got so much engagement from people going, oh, I have some questions, or I didn't even think about that question. And she would see her different friends bouncing back and forth. So this is a really fun one for videos. Any kind of pretty interior design tips? You know, have you seen those posts where like, would you like this kitchen or that kitchen? Would you like this exterior or that exterior? Would you like a mountain house or a beach house? The whole idea is to get engagement and for people to start plugging in, sharing their opinions, and for you to be relevant about real estate. Renting and buying tips, what to expect. You know, when you rent your first house, what should you expect? When you're buying your first house, what should you anticipate? Some people who have, you know, are downsizing, they've been in their house for 30 years. And yes, they're financially independent and they've got their stuff figured out. A lot's changed in 30 years. They don't remember what is an option period and where does the earnest money go and who gets to pick the inspector and all of those things. So make a quick video of here's top 10 things to remember when buying a house. How do we calculate a CMA? How do we come up with those numbers? Hey, everyone, send me your address and I'll do one live, you know, of what your house is worth. And then this one is like my warm and fuzzy, client testimonials and stories. Even if your client doesn't feel comfortable sharing and being on video, tell a story. I mean, that sells. Hey, I found this fire department, I popped by, I brought them lunch. Come to find out 2 people needed to buy a house. One of them bought in this area that was qualified for a HUD home. We got 50% off. Let me tell you how. Anything that you can imagine. He had terrible credit. He never thought he could buy. We worked with our lender for 4 months. Now he's moving into his house next month. So those are so relatable and awesome video topics. And last but not least, be a local insider. So get really involved in your community and try to bring value. When they think of real estate, they need to think of you. You are that one go-to realtor. And if it's even like I need an electrician or a yard guy or someone to decorate my house for Christmas, or when the appraisal district values my house too high, who do I go to? You need to be that one go-to. So you need to have a list of resources that you offer. Here's all the things that I do that not everybody does. Connect with local businesses and say, hey, I really love how you run your business. You are the best coffee shop in town. You are the best attorney. Divorce attorneys should be your friend, by the way. You're the best at whatever they do. I would love to send you business and I would like for you to do the same in return. Can I add you to my sheet, right? And start building a thing of local businesses and what they do. You're an amazing yard guy. All those GCs and contractors, they know before anyone when people are thinking about selling their house, when people are remodeling, when people are thinking about a flip is coming up. So connect with local businesses and make sure you add them and ask for reciprocity. Resume. So who is it? Dawn Lawrence. I don't know if she's on here. She's the first realtor I met. She says, I have a resume and I submit it before every listing appointment. And she'll put all of her experience and all of her things and all of the value that she brings. And if she was doing something that she hasn't done before, again, she'll bounce off of someone else and say, hey, can I put your information on here? And if I have questions about land development or fill in the blank, I'll come to you. So really treat it like a business. Know your unique value proposition. So what's your elevator pitch? Within 1 minute, you should be able to tell me why I should use you in real estate rather than someone else. Now is a good time to offer free CMAs to fight people's taxes. It's very non-intrusive. It's not like, hey, you have to use me to buy your next house. It's just, hey, do you need comps? I want to help. I want to bring a value to the community. And then again, you're going to know their name, their email address, and their address by the end of it. So it's a great way to add to your database. Connect with builders. We'll do like a builder move up program. And what that is, you know, a lot of people in the sales office aren't licensed realtors. And a lot of people buying homes from new construction builders need to sell their house before they buy. So you can connect with them and say, hey, I can help that person sell their house. And I'll even sell it for a discount if you put me on the buy side of anyone who comes into your office who needs to sell before they buy. It's a total win-win, and you and the builder both get business out of it. Again, share your story and goals. Hey, I want to sell 10 houses. I want to sell 20 houses. I need to make $100,000 my first year, whatever it is. And don't be afraid to tell that to people. This is my favorite. Find a network for collaboration and accountability. So your goal would be to find people in this room even of people who are learning based. They read books, they set big goals, they want to hold each other accountable, they try new things and connect with those people and have that abundance mindset of this is working, this isn't working. Have you tried this? Check out this post. And then lastly, make a list of trades to share. So have a great electrician, have a great plumber, have a solution to every problem that you probably will bump into, and tell those people after you send them a couple referrals, they'll start to send you referrals as well. So the whole idea is we're in the people game. None of this costs any money, just sweat equity and connecting with people. And it's brought me a ton of business. Does anyone have any other really favorite lead generation ideas that are working really well for them? Information overload.
Amanda, I have one that I just recently tapped into over the last maybe 2-3 months. I created Facebook ads for my listings, and I have gotten a lot of leads from it, like a lot,
Oh my
Hmm.
goodness.
like over 40.
How did you learn how to create the Facebook ads?
She played
I
it.
just did it myself.
It was an
I
experiment to
I
see
just
what would happen.
experimented with it, but honestly though, they have um if you go into, you know, the it's the ads manager part, and if you it walks you through it. Like you decide what type of, it's a campaign. It's the same thing as you know, assigning a campaign to someone in KV Core in a sense. So you decide what type of campaign you want to run based on your ad, and it walks you through it. It tells you what you need to do. Add more titles to, you know, if you want a carousel, want to do videos, if you want to do photo cards instead. It gives you recommendations of if you do this, you'll increase your visibility. If you do this, you'll increase your number of clicks. So whatever category you want to create a Facebook ad for, they have different ones. And I created one for all 3 of my listings that I had, and I got like I said, I've gotten over 40 leads off of it.
And I know the subject of this conversation is how to lead gen for free, which she did say the word ad, implying that she paid for it,
I did, it's not free, sorry.
but it was very how much did you spend total?
So the least amount that you can spend is $2.50 a day. So I get notifications from Meta every day. And
You've spent how much so far?
I just got a notification yesterday. It said you spent $8 and something cents and you reached 300 and something people.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, and there's forms in there too. Like if you want to learn more about my listing, click on this, and then they have to give me their name, their phone number, their email, and then boom, have it.
Not free, but super cheap.
Yeah, it's not free. But
$2 a day is
Super
awesome.
cheap.
And you can turn it off whenever you want. So if you spent $40 and you're not
Yes.
going to get a good return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you can also set a maximum spend amount. So it's either $2.50 a day, or when I reach a total amount of $100, turn it off.
But it was cheaper than a property boost.
Oh yeah.
It's cheaper than a property boost in KV Core and
And more
4
leads.
times as many.
That's
And
amazing.
it's the interaction. It's not like calling a property boost. They're like, I wasn't looking at that house, you know.
And
I
then
just
they're
clicked
liking
on
your
it. Why are you
post.
calling me?
And then they're liking your
Mhm.
Facebook page and you're getting an audience. That's incredible. I love it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And I tell you what, I've gotten more reciprocation from those leads that I have called than cold calling in KV Core.
Teddy, you
Because I know that they did it. I'm like, hey, I just wanted to follow up with you. I'm the listing agent for 123 Main Street. I saw that you clicked on my Facebook ad, or I saw that you submitted your information from my Facebook ad. Did you have any questions on it? So
the worm call.
Great.
I love it. Teddy?
Yeah, so I think we closed 14 or 15 last year from one Facebook group. It's a community group, has about 35,000 members in it. And just went in there and sort of established my personality. And then on their Merchant Mondays, where merchants were allowed to post, we did a little different. I can show some samples of what we did, but we didn't do the standard, hey, I'm a realtor, here's the market's on fire, let me list your house, here are the numbers. Those get no engagement. We do, well, I say we, because Kelly always approves my posts or tell me, don't post that, you're going to get canceled. Is try to use humor, and it could be anything. Like you mentioned, hey, I know you from high school. I'll draw on my high school experiences and do something like, here's why I closed, because I wear my leather jacket to all my listing appointments or something like that, right? And I'm 112 years old wearing a leather jacket from high school. And people really they like that. They laugh, say, hey, because they see your creativity and they know you're going to use that creativity to sell their house too. And so it didn't happen immediately, but we've got a pretty good establishment. And now we're going to spread to other groups in the area using that same sort of model, because this group has changed. They're only allowing Merchant Monday once a month, and it's hard to really kind of keep a foothold there, but others still do it every Monday. So if you can do that, like use your personality, they're going to catch on and they're going to start following you. And these are come list me or come sell me opportunities. You're rarely competing for those. So it's just a great way, and it's free.
I love that. I think people want to work with someone who's fun and creative. And it's really hard if you're like, oh, I need to be this cookie cutter square realtor to really stand out. So having that unique proposition is huge. You've
And
mastered.
people feel like they know you already.
Yeah. That's awesome. Anyone else have a really cool one they want to share? Or any ahas of things that they're going to start implementing?
No, but can you send the copy of the video? Because I wasn't going to take notes while you're talking.
Yes.
Yes, no, this is like so great. I love it. I think that, of course, I used some of them, but it was a lot of new information for me. So no, it's good, and I love that everybody find their lane, because I think like that's where everybody will be successful. Like you said at the beginning, just knowing what you're really natural at, and just like be consistent. That's all.
Yeah, everyone's going to have a different business. The people that work with Jenny wouldn't want to work with me, and the people who work with me aren't going to
Exactly.
want to work with Jamie. I mean, we have this like scarcity mindset of, oh, there's not enough business out there, but we're all so different, and we're going to attract a different clientele. Awesome. Well, this is amazing. We do this every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. It's a different topic, a different teacher. Next Tuesday, I think is Michael Bass. He's going to be teaching. He's like the king of scripts. So what to say, how to say it, simple, repeatable process. Any objection you throw at him, he can handle, which I think is really cool, rather than going, okay, and then you miss out on the deal. But it's the same time, same link. I will get a copy of this video and post it on our Team Legacy Facebook page. And if y'all need anything or any resources, just reach out.
Thank you, Amanda.
Of course. I did a
That
presentation.
was
on YouTube.
awesome, Amanda.
Y'all are amazing. In the chat box, there's a little Canva link, and that's the whole presentation. So it has all the referral networks and ideas, and you can kind of just pick whatever you're passionate about, and we can build it out. Awesome. Y'all have a great week. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.